So according to the definition, when we relate that to finite automata, okay, when we relate that to a finite automata, the computer either has an answer yes or no. So over here, we introduce a type of computer that is simple, partly because the output it produces in response to an input string is limited to yes or no. Okay, but mostly because of its primitive memory capabilities during a computation. Now consider any computer whose outputs are either yes or no. Okay, so what you have to relate here is that just consider a computer and you have a finite automata, right? So it should provide the outputs as yes or no. Okay, and according to the definition, any computer whose outputs are either yes or no acts as a language acceptor. That becomes your language acceptor. Okay, so the language the computer accepts is the set of input strings that cause it to produce the answer yes. Okay. So in this chapter, instead of thinking of the computer as receiving an input string and then producing an answer, it's a little easier to think of it as receiving individual input symbols, one at a time. Okay. You have to understand this paragraph. And producing after every one the answer for the current string of symbols that have been read so far. What can you understand by this? Basically, a computer system acts as a language acceptor, okay, and it provides two outputs, either yes or no. Okay, so before the computer has received any input symbol, the current string is A, and there is an answer for that string too. Okay, now consider a string or a value I'm having or an alphabet I'm having is A. Okay, and the computer should provide an answer with yes or no to me. So how will that happen? Suppose I give the input to the computer as A, and I'm interested in A. I don't want other alphabets. Okay, if I have A, my output or the computer gives the output as yes. Okay, and if I have, now check this another example. If the current string is, okay, this was the initial string A. Okay, and there is an answer for that string too. So if the current string is A B B A B, okay, for example, the computer might have produced the answers yes no yes yes no no so far, so one for each of the six prefixes A, B, B, A, B. What can you understand by this? There are six prefixes which is given here. Okay, count it. You have A, you have B, B, A, B. There are six prefixes, and for every prefix, you have an answer. Either yes or no. Yes or no. Okay, and I have programmed, now consider that I have programmed a computer in such a way that it should only accept the value A and it should not accept the value B. Okay, I have programmed that computer in such a way and I have given the input as this. Okay, now I want an answer from you now. Okay, and I have given an input as A, B, B, A, B. What will be my answer? What the computer will give me?
Ma'am, how come there are six prefixes? I have a doubt in that.
Okay, wait a minute. Yes, there are five. There are five. It's a printing mistake. Okay,
Even
suppose
in
there
the
are
answer,
five.
there's some error, right? Because it's
Where?
yes, no, no, yes, no,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Even in the answer, they've written it yes, no, yes, yes, no, no. There's some error there as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There is a typing error over here also. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. We should be very clear. So I'm giving you five prefixes A B B A B. Yeah. Yeah. So guys, while referring, you should be very. I mean, you should check it out. Actually. So if the string is, now consider that if the string is A B B A B, right? And I have programmed the computer that it should accept only the values of A. I rest all values it should not accept. So what will be my answer in that case?
Yes, no, no, yes, no.
Yes, good. Okay. So I'm just giving you a rough idea. So how the language, formal language will be. Okay. Like this, you have to prepare a finite state machine in the next lectures, and we'll see how to do that. Okay. So this is what basically the answer it gives. Okay. Now what happens here is, okay, so we'll see this. Check this paragraph. There are examples of a type of language acceptor. Okay, as it is given in the definition that a computer acts as a language acceptor. So the so there are some examples over here. So these were the examples of a type of language acceptors called a finite automaton or finite state machine. So, your finite automaton or a finite state machine is a language acceptor. Okay, just remember this one word. What do you mean by FSM, or what do you mean by finite state machine? It is a language acceptor. That's it. Okay. So at each step, a finite automaton is in one of a finite number of states. There are certain states, and every state is represented by this circle, right? We'll see the notations in detail over here. So at each step, a finite automaton is in one of a finite number of states. Its response depends only on the current state and the current symbol. A response to being in a certain state and receiving a certain input symbol, it's simply to enter a certain state, possibly the same one it was already in. So the FA, the finite automata, announces, okay, it announces what? Acceptance or rejection, in the sense that its current state is either accepting state or a non-accepting state. Over here we had taken this five prefixes A, B, B, A, B. So I have assigned that particular language acceptor in such a way that it should I check the values. Okay, it should be either in the accepting state or non-accepting state. So in the prefixes, your first prefix is A, so that is in the accepting state. Your the B, second prefix, that's in the non-accepting state. Okay, likewise. So you have particular states. In the two trivial examples where the response is always the same, only one state is needed. Okay. For the language of the strings ending with A, two states are sufficient: an accepting state for the strings ending with A and a non-accepting state for all the others. See, this I'm just reading out, so I think this will not make any sense for you guys. It's better to solve numericals and explain it. Yeah, this is just theoretical. You have to go read it out, okay? Refer the PDF. We'll directly solve examples, okay? Because it will sound little boring if I go on saying this. So, okay, let's just have a look at this diagram. So in the diagram, okay, the states are represented by circles. As you can see, there are two circles over here. There are two circles. So in the diagram, the states are represented by circles. So I have how many states here? I have two states, right? P and Q. I have a state P and I have a state Q. Okay. States are represented by circles. Transitions are represented by arrows. This is a transition. Transitions are represented by arrows with input symbols as labels. Okay, guys, just read it out. In the diagram, states are represented by circles, transitions are represented by arrows with input symbols as labels. Okay, now when you check this diagram, so tell me what are the states here?
P and Q.
Very good. And what is the transition? That's the arrow, right? And the value of that particular transition, that is what? It will be label, right? A is the label. And accepting states are designated by double instead of single circles. Over here, see, you have double circles here, so this is the accepting state. It is ready to take inputs, more inputs or more values. So that's the difference. This single states are called as those are just the states, or it can be accepting or it can be non-accepting. But the double one, it those are generally the accepting states. Okay, the initial state will have an arrow pointing to it that does not come from another state. Okay, you have initial state. Suppose for example here p is my initial state. Okay, and q is my final state with the value a, and my transition is from what? Transition is basically the direction. Okay, so my direction or my transition is from P to Q. If my arrow was opposite, it was vice versa from Q to P. So my direction will be, or my transition, okay, the transition will be Q to P. But in this diagram, the transition is from P to Q. So this is how you denote a particular start state or initial state, and with an arrow pointing towards it. This indicates that this is your initial state. So an FA can proceed through the input automaton like, but by just remembering at each step what state it's in and changing states in response to input symbols in accordance with the transition function. So with the diagram, we can trace the computation for a particular input string by simply following the arrows that correspond to the symbols of the string. Okay, only this much. Okay, so that I think today we'll stop here. That's all for today's lecture. Next lecture, we will solve numericals on formal language. Okay, and guys, don't forget to upload your tutorial one, the mathematical concepts questions. Okay, truth tables and all, which we had. I have just given it to you. Upload it tomorrow before 5 p.m.
Ma'am, if you can't solve the question, then
Uh, if you can't solve the question, try to solve it first. I think the truth table you guys are
yeah, I mean
able to
that's done.
solve it.
The 1.3 is confusing.
1.1. It's 1.1 or
Ah,
1.3?
so
Uh,
two questions you gave now. 1.1 we did. 1.3
yes.
is can't.
Slide slide that. Okay, okay. 1.1 is what we require. If you're not able to solve 1.3, yes, that's a bit tricky. And we won't require that proposition conjunction and all in our later units. So that's fine. Guys, you can upload your first question. But you have to prepare tables for F, right? Till F, A to F.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, all of you just upload the first question from A to F. Try to draw proper truth tables and upload it. That's fine for tutorial one because
Ma'am,
that is
should
just a
it be
basic.
TF, I mean true false or 1010?
No, TF, true false.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, can you please explain again question number 3?
Question number 3.
1.3.
Question number 1.3. In 1.3, what you are supposed, that's a bit tricky. The example is given here. What's the example? They have given as 9, 18. Basically, what you have to do is there are two integers m1 and m2. Okay, and m1 and m2 both represents the month. Okay, and you have certain condition. One is less than equal to mi is less than equal to 12. So there are 12 months, okay, in a year. So it represents that. And then you have days, D1 and D2. Those are integers representing the days, okay? And some conditions are given. Okay, what is I here? I is the pair, that is month and day. You have a pair of a month and a day, right? And it can be, so example is given, when you refer that question, example is given as 9, 18. So the month is 9th and the day is 18. So it represents September 18th. Okay, 9, 18. It represents what? September 18. So here suppose we wish to write a logical proposition. What do you mean by proposition? Suppose you have a sentence, okay? Suppose you have a proposition, I'm having breakfast. This is my proposition, right? I am having breakfast. A sentence that is also considered as a proposition. So in that you have to show that in the form of p and q. Okay, You have to show how a particular proposition implies a particular condition. Okay. So here we wish to write a logical proposition involving the four integers. Which are the four integers? For example, m1 comma d1 means your month comma day, and again comes before m2 comma d2 means that's logical, right? m1 d1 m2 d2. Here in the condition which is given in the question, it's given that m1 comma d1 comes before m2 comma d2. So just take an example, August. Okay. Okay, month one. Suppose my first month is August. So I will write August, comma 15. Okay. And after that, I can write what? I can write September, comma 18 in the calendar. Okay. You have to relate that and just read that question properly. So after you understand that particular thing, particular logic, you have to solve two questions. Your first question A, it is find such a proposition that is a disjunction of two propositions. That's a bit tricky. Guys will be able to solve it, but that's a bit tricky. Okay, try to solve it and get some output if you can. Okay, and we will surely see that in our next lecture. If you want, we can see that, or else we will start with our formal languages main concept. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, let me take the attendance. Yes, I've taken the attendance. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
thank you. Next lecture, we'll start with formal languages, and that's important. Okay.